Hello everybody, today is Tuesday, April 14, 2015. I am Matthew Tyler DeLeo, better known as SonicMTD, and welcome to the 14th video of our Vlog Everyday April Challenge. And to be brutally honest, today I went to the doctors and they put me on some amazing new medication, which I have yet to take. And the reason why I have these meds is because a little while ago, actually, you would have seen it if you watched our very first video. In January, I did a skit with the 404s where I fell and hit my chin on the hardwood floor and I got this little bump, this little fucking thing right here. I didn't break anything, but it's a bacterial infection that I've been very self-conscious of, and I've been trying to not bring attention to it, and it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, fuck it, let them see everything, warts and all. It'll be gone eventually. That's what the meds are for. But for the most part, that's what happened, and shit. So one of the things that is going to be coming up within next month, the month of May, yes, May. May comes after April. The month of May is going to be Anime North, which happens every year, usually in May. This year it's taking place during the weekend of the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And it is a convention that I have been going to religiously. It was my first convention way back in the day, and this is going to be the one year where I don't go to it. And for the most part, I'm a little saddened at that, but I realize there's a lot of reasons why I can't go this year, and that big reason is by the time I had enough money to afford the weekend passes were officially out of sale, so I can't go, and Sam can't go, and Dave can't go. All of Blue in the Face cannot go. But who knows, we might end up gate crashing some of the parties or some of the things that happen in the area. But I figured, since I'm going to be doing my vlog everyday thing, and since I want to be talking a little bit about Anime North, I thought I would make a small little, well, it's going to be a long vlog if I do everything that I want to, but to actually create a sort of guide to the beginner in terms of a convention. A idiot's guide to conventions. Not for you. You were smart. It is a guide for people like me. I am an idiot. So the very first thing that happens when you arrive within a convention is, of course, you have to go and pick up your tickets or your passes. What I would recommend doing is that, not even on the first day. Normally they have the ticket releases like the day before. Show up early. I'm serious. Normally you get there about an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours early, just so that you can get passes. I would recommend that if you are cosplaying or if you are trying to do anything else, wear appropriate clothes. Depending on the day, it might turn into hail. I'm not kidding you. 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe. But it was hailing when we were picking up tickets. I swear to God, my nipples were so cold they could pierce diamonds. I wish I was joking about that. Most of the time during Anime North, it tends to be incredibly warm, but sometimes we do get hit with freak weather, and because of that, dress appropriately. So, it's now the day of the convention, and hopefully you've got yourself a hotel. If not, you've lived in the area, you've figured out your transit schedules. Actually, that's another part. Figure out when your local transit ends. If you are not within the local hotels, figure out what time you need to leave. Otherwise, you are going to be stranded at a convention, and that would be horrible, because you'd be petrified, you'd be basically begging everyone at the last minute. Hopefully you have friends that'll take you in, but if not, be prepared to figure out when your endpoints are. So it's officially the day of the convention, you're sitting there, there's a lot to take in, there's people everywhere. The very first thing that I would recommend you do is you breathe. It's all overwhelming, it's like a kid in Disneyland, there's so much you want to do, so many places to be, so much people to see and all that and everything that comes in between. Figure out exactly what it is that you want to do for that certain day and go about planning your schedule about it. Usually the first thing that I recommend doing is going into the artist alley / dealer's room, because that's where all the cool shit is. You will be able to buy so many ridiculous things. It is good to usually go there on the first day. The last day, normally they have sales, but you won't be able to find as really cool shit as you did before. Also, be very careful as to what you are bringing into a convention. I say this because I went cosplaying once as Doctor Who. I'm planning on going cosplaying this year as a member of V.E.D.A too. As a result, you might have to go through something called weapons check. and it is a incredibly long ordeal that everyone has to go through to make sure that the items that you are bringing in are not dangerous and cannot injure anyone during the con. And I am honestly being serious. These people might seem like Nazis at first, but their whole ordeal is general safety. If they are not allowing you to bring something in with you to the con, there's a particular reason. Some idiot probably ended up hurting someone really bad. Hopefully, the hospital wasn't involved, but you know how it goes. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is if you are with friends, always be certain where the good places to get food are. There are many different places where you can get food within a convention. There's going to be candies, there's going to be lots of Japanese food, there's going to be burgers, there's going to be all different types of places. But make sure you know where the places are, and make sure you guys take breaks. It's very easy to marathon things, and then by the end of the day you're dehydrated, you're sick, it's been hours since you've had food or any sort of relaxation. And another thing that I want to mention, since we are on the subject of pacing yourself, soap and water are your best friends. I'm serious. If you are cosplaying, if you are attending a convention, for the love of God and all that's holy, please bathe. I know a lot of people that play video game tournaments. I've done a couple game tournaments, but some of the people that I've seen playing a lot of the fighting game tournaments who don't spend a lot of time going home because they're busy trying to play and go on to the next round and stuff like that. For the love of God and all that's holy, nobody wants to be around you if you smell like ass. Just shower, shave, deodorant, please. I'm begging you. If you're cosplaying, you're going to be out in the sun probably. So you're going to be sweating up a storm. So make sure you got that taken care of. Another thing that I want to talk to you about is there's going to be a lot of people that you are huge fans of, whether you are into, comics, gaming, sci-fi, anime, horror, even sports, depending on where you're going. The one thing that I recommend that you do is to take a deep breath when you are around somebody that you idolize. Remember that these are people too. A lot of the times that they are actors who got lucky in ending up playing a role that would forever change how you vision the world. So, take a deep breath. If you're going to ask them a question, just relax. You got this. And remember, these are people. They're not rock stars. Okay, Nathan Fillion and Big Mike is a rock star. Actually, no. Nathan Fillion is a rock star. If Big Mike ever watches this, I'm going to be in trouble. So whatever you do, keep in mind that these are normal people, and that if you come on too strong, they're going to get weirded out, just like anybody else would. Another thing that I do want to talk to you about is treat the people that are at the convention with respect. I honestly mean this. And I've been guilty of this too. I've been to a couple cons within the past 5 years where I've been absolute dicks to people, and they did not deserve that. A lot of the people that work at conventions are volunteers that if they're not associated with the merch booth, such as Conspiracy Comics or any other place that is selling comic books or paraphernalia, most of the time they're just con goers like yourself that decided to, hey, if I volunteer around the con, I will be able to get free access, but I will also be able to take part in something that I thoroughly enjoy. And I've been guilty. One of the things that I used to do back in the day, back in the day, how old am I? Is let's say, for example, you go into a room, and every single room you go into, they ask to see your pass. This is just a business card. But one of the things that I used to do when I was in a particular pissy mood was when they asked whenever they wanted to see me show my pass, I would stick up my hand and I'd shove my middle finger right in between the cards. So not only am I showing them that you pass, but I'm also giving them the finger. I was a horrible asshole, and I regret acting like that to those people. I was burnt out. But anyway, that's no excuse for acting like an asshole. And actually, that should be the main point. Don't be an asshole. Seriously. You're going to have people that are all different types of fandoms. They're going to be into things that you might not particularly be a fan of. And normally, if it's something that you're not a fan of, you usually assume the absolute worst in their fandom. if you don't like My Little Pony, you're going to assume the worst type of person imaginable is into it. And not everyone is what you have in your mind. I've met some fantastic people, some incredibly smart, some entertaining, and some like thorough friends that I never thought I would have made just by putting aside my petty differences and actually getting to know the person behind the fandom. Another thing that I would mention is a lot of people do get into cosplay. I've only done cosplay once. This year I am going to be a member of the V.E.D.A 2 crew. I am going to take some liberties into making sure that the weapon that I have won't get caught confiscated, hopefully. But another thing that I want to mention about cosplayers, these are the people that dress up as video game, anime, or sci-fi characters, what have you. There are going to be many people that are dressed scantily clad. This does not give you the right to touch them. This does not give you the right to basically sexually harass them. And a lot of people that make the argument going, well, if they don't want to be touched or oogled or awed at, why do they dress that way? No! That is sexual assault. You are an asshole. You are possibly borderline on potential rapist training. Don't do that. Don't be an asshole. Regardless, if you want to ask a certain thing of a cosplayer, ask for consent, for Christ's sakes. Don't just go out willy-nilly. A lot of people have a certain line in the sand. And when you cross that line, you just end up making an ass out of you. And you could actually end up ruining the con for anyone else. I was at a con located out in Markham, Ontario. I can't remember which one. I think it was like the beginning of V.E.D.A. But there was a masquerade that was going on, and someone jumped the stage and sexually assaulted someone who was part of the masquerade. And we thought it was part of the skit. And when it was over, when he went away, the person who was inside the costume at the time was crying. This ruined her. I wouldn't be surprised if this brought her away from conventions altogether. So yeah, wrapping this up, because this is a long-winded preamble, I guess I gotta say, is for one, get there early. People at conventions are just normal people. Keep that in mind. Know where to get food. Soap, water, deodorant. It's your friend. Don't be an asshole. Don't molest cosplayers, because if I catch you doing that, I will try to deck you. And the only thing I really have to say is that conventions can be a very long and monotonous thing, but if you know how to do it and you know how to do it well, then yeah, there shouldn't be any problems. Remember that these are people that are into the same stuff as you are. Not all the time. They might be into completely different stuff. But these are people that are willing, accepting, and willing to take you under their wing. So do not be afraid of going to a convention, because, once again, I've met some of the most amazing people out there. Either way, I've rambled on enough. I am Matthew Tyler DeLeo. I am SonicMTD. And thank you for listening to my vlog. Later days. Shit.